is putting up, 15 wins for like a 3.5 goals against.
LA really dropped off. That's it. That's the thing too. You got to know when the team they're playing on is gonna start struggling.
He was playing on a bad team when you traded him.
Yeah, that's why I traded him. That's why he was available.
I get it. I understand, but for Corey to go for it, a smart guy. Corey, I like you, buddy.
He didn't like the Chuck. He misread it. He miscounted the men. That's all. Mistake.
Next time you miscount your men, come to me, bud.
Yeah, build that relationship, right? Like, if I post out there, hey, does anyone want this player, and no one answers, and I message someone privately, say, hey, do you want this guy? Well, this is what I can give you for him.
I can't believe a ninth, and he doesn't reach out to the rest of the group,
That I love to bring this up because Travis if he's watching, he's irate right now. He's so fired up.
For sure. I'm not happy about it either. But
Travis is the one who gave up the 2-6.
I've used my personal relationships against some of these other GMs and in trades and stuff. Not against them, but
I heard him literally say, Dolce, I'm not gonna be your friend anymore.
That's not what I meant. I mean, I've leveraged. Again, not what I mean.
He's not coming off good here, guys.
It's easy to trade with your friends as opposed to strangers. And I've used some of those personal friendships to make good trades. That's all I'm saying.
That's why we don't make trades. We made one ever.
I think
and it was not
in the 6 years the league's been going on, we've made one somebody
trade.
for a 17th and an 18th.
Yep.
One bottom feeder trade for 6 years.
We don't trust each other.
I don't trust you. Roommates, I don't fucking trust you.
We don't have that kind of relationship here. People are I like to leverage my friendship. He knows, fuck off. I see a message from Nick, it's automatically declined.
I thought I'd made some fair trades in the past, but trade offers. But
honestly, I'm gonna credit this next segment to Derek. It was his idea.
What do you got?
We're sitting there drinking, getting ready for a draft, eating some wings. He's like, wouldn't it be fun to do a power rankings?
Oh, we're on the power rankings.
Would that not be fun? I thought that is genius.
How do we get to this?
Because for the new people to the league, what we do when we do this show here, we'll always preview the upcoming week, and we'll ask for your input, because we keep score of your predictions, who you think's going to win each matchup. We're not going to do that this week. That's going to be next week's show, right before the season starts. But I would like to include the power rankings monthly. I think monthly is fair.
That's probably fair. You get a good update after 4 weeks. So
yeah.
We got, 21 weeks in the season? You'll get four updates?
More than that. Every month.
Well, I guess the 5th update will be on the last week of the season, right?
No, I'm not talking quarters. I'm talking every month. So we're October. November, we'll have another one. December, we'll have another one. January. We'll probably get about 6 or 7. Because the season will end in April.
But we only have 21 weeks in the season.
Yeah.
So 4 times 5 is 5.
But it covers, right? The season starts in October and ends in April, right? Maybe there's no power rankings in the playoffs though. So we're probably looking at March.
You want on the 1st of every month then?
Yeah, exactly. The first show of every month.
That's fair.
We'll do power rankings. Hopefully we get more participation. We had 7 people participate this time.
Almost half the league. That's fair.
Yeah.
It was something we threw out there on a whim. So once we start doing this regularly, I think it'll be.
Well, just like the predictions, right? We gained more participation as we went.
And we had 12 out of the 16 people regularly participating. So.
Yeah, we encourage you to participate, guys. It's just have a lot of fun.
We're gonna do the show either way, so it's just better if we have everyone involved,
Yeah, join the fun. That's an order. No, we have to have a good time, guys. So we're gonna talk about power rankings. So 7 people sent in their power rankings, and what we did was we took the average of where people placed them, and then based on the percentage wherever they're ranked. So the champion was almost unanimously here picked that top spot. Thank you for the respect. I appreciate it, guys.
Just because everyone else picked themselves.
Most people picked themselves. They did. But I was always, to be fair, ranked pretty high. Average 2.1 was the average of where I landed. So thank you all for the vote of confidence. I know you were all happy when I went on that losing streak at the end of the year last year. But I pulled it out in the playoffs for you. That's for you guys. Second rank here, we have the 2016-2017 champions. I like that you didn't spell champs right.
Oh yeah,
Just calling them out.
I wrote it quick. I was drunk watching the ball game. Whatever.
I just like to pick on him. The average, though, of his was 4th.
Yeah, so I had him third actually, and
Yeah, let's get your input on this.
yeah, so I put him third because I thought he had a great draft. He's a very active GM, and he's always very analytical about the way he does his moves.
When he's active.
Honestly, yeah, no, seriously, I really find myself a lot thinking of what would Derek do.
I wouldn't say that.
He won it was the first year that he won, right?
Second
year. He won on a team of grinders.
In fact, they were called the AHLers then.
Yeah, grinders, good goaltending, and some scoring, like supplemental scoring. So I think a lot of teams have really tried to mimic his blueprint, I guess, for that championship team, myself included, and I was able to win a championship kind of based on that blueprint.
I must say he does change his strategy though.
He does, absolutely, but I really think that he's very analytical in the way that he looks at the game, and I kind of find myself not trying to copy him, but almost kind of follow that style, you know?
We're going to finish with Derek. We'll go back to myself after, get your thoughts on that. But while we're talking about Derek, what did you think of his draft?
No, I just thought it was a great draft. He really positioned himself well last year to get good picks, and then he filled his roster around the holes that he had for his keepers. I really think that he drafted well and very intelligently.
I thought going off the board for DeBrincat was a good move.
Yeah,
it's a little bit of a risk.
I think he's got it locked though. DeBrincat's probably gonna get close to 70 points, probably 35 to 40 goals. I really think DeBrincat's gonna go off this year.
His is a roster too that could use a keeper upgrade.
Yeah.
Right. So DeBrincat, I think he fills that need.
He's got some good goaltending, but that goaltending is aging a bit, especially Carey Price.
And he kept 3. He kept 3.
I don't know if he's gonna move Carey. If he does, this year's probably the year to do it.
I feel like he should just run him out this year and just not keep him.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Do what you gotta do, Derek, but if he's playing well, then why would you get rid of him, right?
Carey's honestly been a subpar goalie throughout the regular season the last couple of years. Above average in the playoffs, but subpar throughout the regular season. So we only play with regular season stats. I think he's going to move Carey this year.
We'll go back to Ramrod because I didn't get your actual analysis of Ramrod.
Oh, yeah. I just thought, defending... I had you at 2, behind myself, of course.
Most people pick themselves, guys.
I get it. Defending champ, you had a poor draft, but you have good keepers. Probably one of the best keeper bases in the league.
I agree.
And you're already chasing that repeat. You're with the trade for the grinder defenseman. You're upgrading your picks to Kyle. Sorry, so you're downgrading in picks. Pardon me.
Just one.
Yeah, not a huge downgrade, but you're already trying to improve your team that way. So chasing that repeat, I think you drafted very poorly.
I agree.
I know you agree with me, and that's why you've made so many moves so far. Very active on the waiver wire, active in trades already. So I think you're going to try to chase that repeat, but I had you at 2. So
just while we're talking about my poor draft, let me tell you about my biggest mistake in the draft. I drafted Tuukka Rask.
That sucks.
It sucks. It's a dead roster spot, but that's why I didn't realize that I couldn't put NA on the IR Plus. So IR Plus is new to us this year, guys. But it's anyone that's signed, right? They can go IR Plus, out. Sorry, IR, day-to-day, out. Can go on the IR Plus. So I made a huge mistake drafting Rask. But that's okay. I owned up to it. I dropped him and picked up a starter on a real shitty team. But he's a starter. We're going to talk about the whole shaft here, coming in at number 3 with an average vote of 4.6.
Yeah, so I don't know how people were picking their power rankings, if they were based on kind of more GM power rankings or current active roster power rankings.
It's hard to kind of...
Yeah, so I personally, I wouldn't put myself at 3 for current active roster. I think I really like my roster. Of course, my keepers are are pretty solid.
I think that's where I think you have an advantage on keepers over a lot of teams.
I think a lot of people know I'm very active in trades as well, and I'm going to try to improve my roster that way. I don't know if people were picking my roster at third, or sorry, picking me at third based on my roster or on my GM skills, but I'm a little confused by that myself, honestly. I like my roster, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't put me at... I took myself at 1 just because we're all fucking cocky. I honestly...
There's one person who didn't put themselves on 1.
Objectively, I wouldn't put myself at 3. So thanks, guys.
Well, you know that shows though. There's some respect there,
Yeah,
right? In like they know.
I have great keepers, but my
Great
roster
keepers.
honestly could be like a fucking turnover based on like, are you gonna pan out James Schwartz and
Who knows?
you know,
what?
like my grinder defensemen are gonna fill out those grinder stats for me, and I've got great keepers who are gonna fill out the score stats for it. I don't put myself at 3 realistically.
I think if you look at it keeper wise, like your top 5, like your keepers,
Probably,
probably better than
yeah.
than
Than
anything
most,
on
right?
most of these teams,
Yeah.
right? On some of the teams, at least. Maybe not
Like
most.
Leon Kane, Draisaitl.
Point. You already
yeah.
said Leon though.
Vass.
Vass.
Leon.
Vass.
Vass, best goalie in the league, and Ehlers filling out that 5th spot. But I thought I'd grab some good grinders. Realistically, I don't put myself at 3.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Honest guy
Well,
here.
thanks, guys.
He doesn't put himself at 3. He puts himself at 1.
Yeah.
You heard it. He did it. He put
Just because
himself
I'm
at 1.
cocky, but for being objective, I'm not going to put myself at 3.
We have Charlie Browns, our resident runner-up. He got a good average of 4.9.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good average, right? You can see that the average will drop down when we get to the bottom here.
4 is exactly where I had the Charlie Browns. He's honestly he's here every year. He's right in the top like 3, 4, 5 teams every single year.
He usually wins his division.
Realistically, he does.
That's why he's upset about the division prize.
He's got a solid all-around team, but I don't know what it is. He just can't seem to finish. He's very inactive at the trade deadline. He's kind of reluctant to move his pieces.
I'll argue the point that that's the only time he is active is at the deadline.
Well,
he never makes trades
throughout the year. He's reluctant to move his
Yeah.
pieces. Then at the deadline, he's a little bit active,
But not enough.
but exactly not enough. So he can't. He never has the ability to finish because his opponents just fucking go all in,
Yeah.
and their whole roster is stacked. Where he's got a couple of holes in his roster,
I feel like that's it, exactly.
and he's not able to get the job done. You know, so he finishes 2, 3, 4 every year.
These guys that you've been beating, though, are improving their team, and you're just staying the course.
Yeah.
Like, if there's an opportunity for you to improve, you got to take that. Coming from a champion, Sean. Coming from 2 champions. At number 5, this is gonna send some rage out here.
I can hear him yelling already.
Already, he is furious. He thinks he is God's gift to this league this year. Dripping in heat, Travis was ranked at 5, and he averaged out a flat 5. So he was beat out by Sean by 0.1.
I had him at 7.
I had him at 4. I had Sean at 5. So it's like they're
Why
gonna
did you have
change
him
him.
at 4?
I do like his roster, but I feel he has a weak spot, and his weak spot is goalie.
Yeah.
Because they're unproven. A bunch of young goalies. Like one of them's in Philadelphia, so like
Fucking graveyard.
they are rough on their goalies. There was turd over there. And that's real. I do like the players he picked, but I also feel most of the guys he drafted, even though he had their big name defensemen, but they're all offensive defensemen.
Yeah, he's not going to get those grinder stats.
They don't grind as hard as some of the guys that the other teams
He
drafted.
comes up against a team like Bill, like myself, or some of these other guys who are all goaltending and defense and grinding.
Yeah, you could outscore me.
Exactly. Well, even then, like myself, like I got those keepers who might keep up with your scores, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna clearly outgrind you and out goaltend you. So,
The
I
advantages in your
had him at 7. Exactly like you said. He had a good draft, but very iffy keepers. He's so fucking active. He likes to make so many moves on.
He's gonna tinker his way.
trades. Yeah, exactly. He had a great draft. Very, very good draft, but very iffy keepers to go with that. But he's gonna tinker away his team that it's probably going to be turned over by half the year, you know. So again, I like his team right now. Good draft. Not great keepers, but solid.
I guess the real question is how long till he snaps,
Yeah.
right? Usually it's second week,
No,
third
that's
week.
what I was gonna say. Week
just-
2, he's gonna be
he's solid.
He's so happy with the way he drafted that week 1 he's gonna be in a close matchup. He's gonna have to decide who to drop to get those stats on the Sunday evening. And
He's gonna make he could make the wrong choice.
the players he's gonna put out there are immediately gonna be picked up because he drafted everything within the first fucking 3 rounds. Good for him. But the players he drops are going to be grabbed. He's going to lose those going into the next week. It's now going to be a little offset, and I don't think he keeps it going. So
The thing too, you gotta keep in mind, right? Sometimes the worst players on your team are the guys you want to drop,
no, absolutely.
but
you need to.
they
have
might be
those
playing
guys.
that day. They might be playing on that Sunday, and
You
you're
don't
like,
want to keep them. You're going to have to drop
I-
a good player.
I'm not gonna drop a player who's playing for another guy who's playing. Like,
He's looking at his roster right now. There's not a single guy I want to drop. Well, you're gonna have to do it at some point, dude.
Yeah.
And somebody's gonna grab that guy. You're gonna have to be stuck with a second tier player going into the next week. Either having to waste a move already on day 1, or run with that second tier player. And
you're absolutely right. Like, it happens.
so
That's why I hate
he's such
when
a tinkerer. Like if it was Sean who had that team, who doesn't fucking touch his team for weeks, I think he'd be set.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
Sean's not. But Travis isn't gonna let that go for weeks. He's gonna fucking tinker with his team to the max.
Calling you out, Travis. We're gonna see if you can actually pull it off. He's saying it. He's the champion this year. This is his year. We're gonna see. You gotta step up now and play.
His last 5 picks that he made within the I know they were still like 9th, 10th, 11th round there, but they're gonna be gone within the first 2 weeks.
It's possible. There's a good chance too if that's what he's gonna do. It's a good chance for other GMs to be like, okay, well I'll trade you a better piece for those 2 good pieces. Like,
Exactly.
you know, sometimes depth is what wins you championships. Let me tell you about a guy named Stevenson who won me the championship against Domo while his boy was in the penalty box. Great, short-handed GWG. Oh, I praise.
Can we move on?
Yeah, we can move on. Ranked at 6 here, Suck My Ojic. So Neil, another former champion. So we've already covered a few champions. Came in at an average of 8.1. So you can see the difference here. 5th was straight out 5th overall here. It was ranked at 5 pretty much. And we're starting to drip into 8. So you can see where it's going to get close in the middle for a while. Literally decimal points. And in some cases they're actually tied. And the way we broke up those ties was who finished higher in the regular season last year? Or who finished higher last year? Who had a better season last year?
So I know Neil has an 8.1 rank here. I actually had him right at 6 where he finished. I really like Neil's team. Pardon me. The notes I have here. So he's got some high end keepers, but he's also got some young goaltending. That young goaltending can absolutely just fucking run away for him and steal in the whole league. Basically, he's got what 2, 3 young really goaltenders.
He's got 3 young goalies.
He's the one with Samsonov.
No, he's a Sorokin,
Sorokin,
Shesterkin.
both of the New York goalies, right?
No, only one now. And he's got Kakinen.
Sorokin and Shesterkin are both New York.
Different New York teams.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I meant.
I thought you meant
But
both
he's got the New
Rangers
York
young goalies,
yeah,
right?
He's got the New
My
York goalies. No, he can really like if those guys run away with their starting jobs, like he could fucking do some damage.
I think that's my issue is that they're not starters right now.
They're not quite established, but they absolutely could establish themselves this year. So I like Neil's team, to be honest.
I know you're praying that Sorokin takes over, but Varlamov has it nailed down.
Yeah,
Fuck off.
I think Shesterkin's got that job locked
Yeah,
down.
I think Shesterkin is the starter.
For sure.
Kakinen, it's his soon. Talbot played really well at the end of the year last year.
For sure. But they split time all year, right? So even if they split time again this year, and you have the starter in Shesterkin and a good backup / starter,
Yeah,
depending on what
50-50.
happens
They've been
with the
50-50
Islanders.
for the most part, I think.
So I think he's got some really good goaltending there. Then he's got Panarin,
Breadman.
and who's his other 5th? I know he's got. I said good.
Pasternak.
Pasternak, yeah.
Pasternak.
Panarin
Like,
and Pasternak, 2 of the elite wingers in the league. I really like his team with that goaltending. if he can fill it out with some supplemental pieces there, I think he could be championship caliber for sure.
I feel he needs to move one of his goalies. Maybe not now, like before. Even if he keeps his goalies, he needs to get another elite player, skater, as a keeper.
That's fair.
You can't keep 3 going forward, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%.
This year,
I
choose
think
which 2 you're going to stick your guns to. And
2 goalies moving forward for sure. You need those skater options, unless you're going to have like fucking 3 or 4 picks in the 6th round to back up your keeper skaters.
replenish the ranks.
Yeah,
Like,
you need those 3 keepers and 2 goalies. That's fair.
yeah, I think this year it's fine. Like, you're set up well for this year. But who knows? At 7, we have Hockey Balboa. So Braden coming in with an 8.3 average, which is pretty impressive considering he had 3 wins last year, and they were the last 3 weeks of the season.
Yeah, I had him personally, I had him at 11. I thought he has good keepers, but he's another one with a question mark in net. He's got 4 goalies on his roster right now. Not a single one of them is a starter. I think he was banking on Lankinen being the starter in Chicago, but obviously at the Fleury trade, that's not going to happen.
They fucked you, Braden. They fucked you.
He's got Gustafsson in Ottawa, who's behind Matt Murray.
Who knows about that?
Yeah.
Like, that's up in
Who are
the
the
air.
other 2 that he has?
Who else does he have
He's
here?
got a couple of
Hold on,
backers there.
we got the research here at our fingertips. We're gonna find out. We don't even know what Braden has. I think one of them's a Drager.
Yeah, Drieger's the backup in Seattle. And then our 4th goalie here.
Because I'm just finding his team here. He's in Division 1. Who's he got here? Who's his 4th? Ottinger.
Yeah, sorry, Jake Ottinger, who's the basically the 4th stringer in Dallas right now. So, realistically, he's got 4 backup goalies on the roster who are taking up roster spots. So he's not going to get those skater stats in. So unless he has very good, 2 keeper skaters, he's probably going to lose most of those stats as well. His keeper skaters aren't that great.
Aho's pretty good.
Aho's point wise,
Kaprizov.
yeah, but he's not putting they're not putting up the point.
He's not putting up the big numbers.
The pims,
yes.
the blocks,
Yes.
So you really have to have a solid all around roster around guys like that.
I like his draft though.
Unless his goalie situation changes, honestly, I think I have him ranked right at 11. Like, I know he's got 7 overall here. I don't think he makes the playoffs unless he figures out that goalie situation.
I think that's what he's been trying to work on for a couple seasons now, right? Like,
Since the start of the year, the start of the league.
I mean, really,
he
Seattle.
ran Rene for a long time, and Fleury, who were always kind of like backup, and
They moved on from Fleury
and
last
50-50,
year.
Like
Last year he made the cut of Fleury. Like, yeah, it's bad luck with him in some ways, just bad judgment calls. But we'll see. I like his team. He took some chances on some good players. Line could bounce back. I love that he traded Line
and then got him right back in the draft.
We criticized that trade. He didn't get enough. Like, or he got too much.
Right
Sorry.
back in the draft. Yep, for sure.
Gets him back. And we have 8. We have Domo, who was rated 8.57. The reason we have decimal at 2 is to show that there was actually a tie.
Nice tie for this one.
8 and 9 were
Domo
tied
being in the
by
finals
decimal.
last year kind of like made that decision easy for us that he should be 8 over 9 just because he did make it, to the finals.
My big thing with Domo is I don't know how he made the finals.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind his team, but
Luck.
his goalies is they're just not there. But why don't you tell me why you ranked him where you ranked him? Like, the league chose 8.
I had him right at 8. Honestly, just because he made the finals last year, just again,
So a little respect.
Not knowing how he got there so much, but a little respect for sure.
He was kind of the Canadians
But
of
also,
last year.
he's going with kind of a questionable goaltending trio in there. I think he's got Nedeljkovic, Georgiev, and one other backup.
Who's his third here?
So
He's got Reimer
yeah.
and Hill. He's got the San Jose duo.
Oh, he's got a Quattro in there.
Yeah.
And then he's got Georgiev and the other one. Okay.
The San Jose duo, is that the one you want?
Yeah, exactly. I kind of ran that last year with Dubnik and Jones. Some of the times they fucking stole weeks for me, honestly.
Like, San Jose is that team that's
It was just
always
hit
had
and miss.
potential.
It was always hit and miss. Now he's got 2 different goalies in there. San Jose, I feel like they're probably on the decline a little bit. He's probably going to be active. He was very active last year. Made fucking shit ton of trades. Some of them were very questionable, but super active.
Some were good, though.
So yeah, some really panned out.
Moving Malkin was beautiful for
Some
him.
really panned out for him for sure. But honestly, I have him ranked at 8 right now. Looking at the rest of the rosters, though, I don't know if he makes it back into the playoffs. It's going to be a battle for him for sure.
He's got some good skaters, but again, the goaltending is a question mark. Daltrey, you should probably talk to your dad about moving Malkin. He got a good haul for Malkin.
Yeah.
Pacioretty to Rumble was right ninth. He tied with Domo, but Domo having the better season as Pacioretty lost to Le Champion first before Domo did. So Pacioretty falls down with an 8.57.
I had him ranked at 5. So I had Pacioretty to Rumble ranked at 5 because he's got good keepers, and just like Neil, he's got some good, strong, young goaltending.
His goaltending is really good.
He's got Merzlikins,
Saros,
who had a great season last year,
and
replacing
Markstrom.
Rene, and Markstrom, who has been great in the past, had a really rough year in Calgary last year, granted, but could definitely turn that around. But even if he doesn't, he's got those 2 other goalies who can really, carry the load for him. I think he's got some good keeper forwards as well, keeper skaters, and if he can just supplement that with some additional pieces either through trades or the waiver wire, I think he's really championship caliber. I know people have him ranked at 8, 9 here, kind of tied with 8. Really, we have him at 9, but I think he's going to be towards the top by the end of the year.
He could easily be that guy that slides in though and replace Domo, right?
For sure.
Based on the opinions of the league,
Yeah.
right? So it's all opinion. Daltrey coming in at number 10. Number 10 with an average ranking of 9.57. Now it's 9.57 again because he tied with the 11th.
But he also finished, 3rd last year?
Top 4, yeah.
Top 4 last year, so he's showing up here as the 10th overall. I had Daltrey ranked right at 9, so pretty close. I do have him missing the playoffs this year. Looking at his goaltending, and it does seem
So
pretty
bad.
weak. He's got a backup, and then he's got Grubauer, who's going to be the starter on an expansion team.
That's a crapshoot. Like,
Yeah, exactly. So it could go either way. Like maybe it's like Vegas in their first year and they fucking make a run. But I don't see it happening just because I really don't think they drafted the best team available to them. They left themselves,
traded Malkin for nothing.
They left themselves, not him.
Yeah.
I meant Seattle.
Seattle.
They just left themselves a shit ton of cap space. Like he's gonna have a starter there, sure. I don't think that's gonna be, the best year for Grubauer. His keeper skaters are good.
McKinnon, Rantanen, Wilson.
Yeah, exactly. So that if his goalies can't carry
Strudel.
him,
Like,
Strudel. Hopefully his skaters can carry him, but I don't see him making the playoffs with that goaltending duo that he has right now. So he's gonna have to make some moves there, I think.
I see Daltrey making 2 key mistakes for this season. The first is that he got shit for Malkin.
Yeah.
The second, well, I guess 3. Because second, he didn't draft a real goalie. Like, he had one already established goalie, and he drafted Martin Jones. Like, you're not doing yourself any favor. The backup and
Carter Hart could fucking just deteriorate like he did last year. Martin Jones could steal that job. Like, I don't
Is
know
that the job you want?
I don't know if that's what he's thinking. It's probably not high percentage, but it could happen.
His third mistake that's going to cost him this year is trading Patrick Kane last year to make room for Strudel. Now, I get he's going to be a star one day, but you traded a bona fide top producer for a guy who could pan out. Like, I don't like that. That's...
The guy I traded him was Yossi. I don't think
Yeah.
he kept Yossi.
Roman Yossi, 3-way trade essentially.
Did he keep
You had to
Yossi?
go fetch Yossi. He did not keep Yossi. You had to go fetch Yossi for Shen, and then trade Yossi for Patrick Kane.
He wanted Yossi. Fuck, I'll go get him.
Yeah. If you're gonna send me Patrick Kane, yeah, who do you want?
Yeah,
I'll get him.
exactly. Right? I was so motivated to make that trade. Holy shit.
But I think that's gonna hurt him. Like, yes, Sunsil is gonna be good. It's just I don't think he's gonna be Patrick Kane good immediately, which you already had. So it seems like you were in a position to win now, and now you're taking steps back because you're hoping that your homeboy Senator will pan out and you're gonna be better.
That's
But
fair.
tied with him, our last of the former champions, Sauce Pass, with a rating of 9.57. He gets the 11th spot.
Yeah, I had him at 12, actually. And no offense to Corey, great GM. I just feel like there's some questions around his keepers right now.
Jack
Eichel,
Eichel not
of
playing.
course.
Like
Tarasenko with the trade rumors around him.
he didn't keep him though. He didn't keep him. He drafted him.
Really?
Yeah, Tarasenko was on my roster.
No, okay. All right, I'm curious.
But yeah, his keepers. He kept
No,
Peterson.
great pickup for him on the draft, but
Yeah.
like, yeah.
He kept Peterson.
Same thing there. Like, I know we had a good finish to the year in Toronto, but
Oh, that's what's his name? Campbell.
yeah, he's
Campbell.
oh, sorry, not
Peterson's
Peterson.
in LA.
I was thinking Jack Campbell, but Peterson and Quake are his goalie duo.
And he has
Uh,
Campbell. He has
that-
Campbell. Look.
that's what I mean. Like, so I know Campbell had a good finish to the year in Toronto. I don't know if Corey's gonna pull off this year just because his keepers, like especially his best player being Jack Eichel,
Who's not playing?
that huge question mark around him, right? So
I like when he
that's-
drafted.
That's why I had him so low. I like Corey as a GM. I think he's very good, very active, very intelligent.
I like him as a GM too.
I don't know about his team this year, especially with his best player being Jack Eichel and
Yeah,
the
that's-
whole question
that
mark around
hurts,
him,
like-
for sure.
You spend it with him on the IR. It's like Tyler last year. How successful is he without
Kucherov.
Kuch?
I know it's
Like, all year. 12, we got a new GM. Seaman on the ice. 11.3 was his average. He finished with 12.
Yeah, so I had him at 13, so basically one behind where he finished here. And I had him there because he is a new GM, but he's inheriting one of the best teams we ever seen being inherited by a new GM. That fucking
true.
Florida duo. The rest of his keepers, just the way he's set up.
Marshaw.
The way he's set up is fucking stacked. I don't know how active he's gonna be, how he's gonna manage that team.
So you kind of deducted from his score based on.
if he just lets it ride kind of thing and just goes with those players and he's not very active.
Then you don't
doesn't
think he
make
has
trades. No, exactly. He doesn't have enough right now. But if he's active and he can make pickups and good trades and really push for it, with those keepers, I think he's definitely got a lineup to push for the playoffs.
He made his lineup made the playoffs last year. Well,
Yeah,
his keepers.
The way
at
he
least.
drafted, I wasn't that sold on it, but his keepers, obviously, what he inherited is just too good to pass
Yeah.
up.
I don't know the details, but I do know he's reached out to some people about trades and stuff. So he
Good.
seems like he's going to be active.
That's good.
So that's awesome to see, right? That's what we want to see. Ranked at 13 here. Who we got at 13, buddy?
We have
Cherry Pickin' Daddy at with an average of 11 points something.
Yeah.
Lower than 3. Or higher than 3, sorry. So Kyle, what do you think Kyle's to?
I had him at 10, actually. So another auto draft year, partially for Kyle. Although that was his best fucking year in the league when he auto drafted. I really don't like his roster overall. 10 just because he's kind of knowledgeable. He's been around for a long time with us. I think he's going to try to make that push. He always seems to hang around towards the 8, 9, 10 spots.
He beat Sean out of the playoffs last
No,
year.
exactly. That's what I mean. But he's always in that bottom feeder playoff position. That's why I had him at 10. I think he's going to probably be around there again. Try to make moves to be active and make a push, but I don't know if he gets in. That roster's pretty.
I kind of agree.
Sorry, Kyle.
Kyle, I love you, buddy.
Yeah,
but
I like you, dude, but I don't know.
Man.
That roster right now.
your roster, I thank God every day I don't have your roster. But that's what I'm most thankful for. No, but I don't like your roster generally. I do like that you kept Reinhardt. Because Reinhardt is set up for a monster year in Florida.
Yeah.
Play with the boys like down in Florida, but man, I know you have like a lot of goalies, but they're not bona fide starters right now. They're guys who are playing probably 50-50. So I think that's where you lose me. But at 14, we have Please Don't Feed the Goalie. So Tyler coming in here with an average rating of 13.
Yeah, so I had him rated at 14. Again, another GM without an established starter. He's got two guys, who probably are going to split some time with Vanacek and Allmark, but have not been really, proven established starters. We've seen already, we talked about already that 5 points out of your 15 are going to go to goalie stats, right? So if you're not going to take 5 of those or half, if you're not going to split those, then you're probably going to lose. And with Vanacek and Allmark, I don't know if he's going to split those.
I think anyone who only runs 2 goalies in this league, I think you're at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
I think you need that third goalie and try and get that third star goalie.
Especially when those 2 goalies are top notch. Like I tried to do it last year with Vass, who's the best goalie in the league, and I only ran 2 goalies for most of the year, and I wasn't able to even make the playoffs. So
It's hard.
if you don't have I had the best goalie in the league as one of my 2, and I couldn't even do it most weeks. So even if you have the best, you need more than 2.
You need a third. Keep maybe 2, but maybe 2.
Unless your second is again like top 10 goalies, you're running top 5 and top 10, and you're 1 and 2. Like I did that the year I won when I had Kemper. I ran 2 goalies and I had Bass and Kemper. Kind of top 5 in their own.
I've got Kemper and Varlamov, and I'm running 3,
You're running
4
a third,
goalies right now. 4.
Just because absolutely, it's so tough. Like Vass was great goals against, great save percentage, but I didn't get the wins, I didn't get the saves, and I didn't get the shutouts just on sheer numbers. Like if you're gonna run 3 goalies, 4 goalies, you're probably gonna get 10, 11 starts in that week. You might get a shutout in one of those.
Any game can be a
You're gonna
shutout.
wreck me in saves. You're most likely gonna get 4, 5, 6 wins. If I'm only running 2 goalies, maybe getting 2 or 3 wins, you're probably gonna wreck me in those 3 stats.
It might not be pretty, but a win's a win.
I might take goals against and save percentage because I have good goalies and fewer starts, but you're gonna get 3 of the 5, and that's already an advantage for you.
Yeah. 15. Who do we have coming up at 15?
So at 15 we have Get Off My Grass.
Another new GM. Averaged 13.1 in the voting. I think a lot of it's gonna be told when we see what he plans to do with his team.
Yeah, I agree. I had him right at 15 myself just because another new GM and he's inheriting a lesser team than the other new GM that we have. I think he needs to really put his own mark on this team, and he's going to have to be active to do so. I just hope he is active.
Yeah, well, I guess we're going to find out. I've had some talks with him. I feel like he's going to be active, so... I think we're going to see. Hopefully, he leaves his mark on the team, and becomes a contender. And at 16, with a rating of 13.7, we have Clef Bomb.
Thank you for changing your name. That's fantastic.
I thought that was great. Something else that was great off topic. If you haven't done so, check Daltrey's team picture.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah.
All the different cuts of meat. I love that, Daltrey. Thank you.
Joe, try it. Yeah.
Joe, try it. Which cut do you want? We'll try it. But Clef Bombed, for those who don't know, this is a long time. This is the longest running joke we've had in the league. Kyle here made the greatest decision ever in season 1 when he kept Oscar Clefbaum as one of his 5 keepers. And the league has not let him forget it in 6 other years. So, obviously, paying homage to his greatest imprint on the league. Clef bombed.
I think most people had him rated this low because he's already an established seller. Before a game has even been played this year, he's already told everyone that he's selling. I don't think anyone would have him ranked high if he's an established seller. So I get the 16th overall. That's exactly where I had him. He's 13.7 here. I had him at 16 just because of the fact that he is already selling.
So he's in a rough spot, right? So he's one of the guys who went all in last season. So this is what happens when you don't succeed. So there's good stories when you go all in, and there's bad stories.
Yeah.
It left his roster pretty bare, with the exception of his keepers, right? And he just had no picks left. He had moved them all. So he went to the draft with not a great draft position. Some good keepers, but not great keepers. He was just in a rough spot, and he had to make some decisions. And I think his strategy is that he picked guys who could pan out, who could have a good year, right? Not guaranteed, obviously, because when you're drafting the 13th round, trust me, there's no one that's like, oh, this guy's a guarantee, this is a shoe-in. Like,
Yeah.
no. So he's a victim of going all in and just failing. Like, it happens. Happens to all of us.
Anything else?
No, I think, do you have anything you want to go over?
That's it.
Really, I just want to let everyone know we're going to be back to our normal next week. So we're going to do our weekly preview where we'll discuss every matchup, what we think is going to happen. So if you want to get the jump on it, you can always do the research now and send in your previews. Again, we very much want participation in this. So keep in mind we're going to vote on the payout method. So send me your vote. But also send me in your weekly predictions. I want to know if anyone wants to be a guest. Send me a message, and we'll make sure that you're a guest, even if it's virtual. We did it all last season. We had people up on Zoom, and they joined us, and it's nice to have a third person to get a third perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I already know Nick's thoughts. Like, we talk about hockey a lot, so I want to hear someone else's thoughts for once. Like, I'm tired of hearing about this guy. Like, oh my god. In other news, Daltrey and I are working because Daltrey was very adamant that Dvorak was crap, and that Shane Pinto was God's gift to the Senators. We've been actively discussing a bet, so we're going to get back to the league on that because we feel it's very league related. Because he was very vocal against Dvorak in the league chat, the only person to be really vocal against Dvorak. I just feel he's never watched him play. But we'll get back. We'll touch base on that when the details are kind of determined. Other than that, like I said, we'll be back next week. Thanks for watching, guys. Good luck this season. You're gonna need it because the Champion is coming for round 2.
Okay. See you guys.